Some time to plug in. I'll get to my location. Ooh. Setting up shop. My bad, Keith. We live. I did push the button at 444, but it seemed like it took its own time to plug in. And I also saw that last time I was on the live. And like it made these weird, like disconnected spots. But I think they had a lot to go on with those storms been passing through here recently. Like them storms been crazy. Like, them storms have been real crazy. But, them storms been so bad out here these last couple of days. There's been a lot happening, you know. But, more than anything, I was just trying to get back to the facts. So, for those who may play catch up with this later, if you ever trying to take the time to figure out what I'm talking about or what's been going on, let me turn this light on real quick. Oh, all right, we got some light. All right, so to play catch up and just to do a quick, revise of what's been going on so far, what I had to present, or what's been even happening up until this point, right? So initially, I started just trying to talk to my son, let him know what was going on and why our relationship ain't what it's supposed to be right now, and it's been a lot of misinformation fed to him at a young age. A lot of misinformation been fed to the law enforcement, to the court system. There's been a whole lot that's been going on that the outside world didn't really know about because I was trying to keep it private. I really was trying to just handle my business privately, go through the proper channels, go to court, go to, counseling and all these different things that you're supposed to do, right? I try to do it that way. Now, though I've been trying to do it that way, life ain't necessarily make it happen that way. So after putting my, one foot in front of the other and getting back to normal so I can make this happen, so I can put this in place for this final custody order of June 13, 2012. That's why I reshared it on my page so everybody can see it and y'all can read it for yourself. It's under the album, the photo album on my Chubb the artist page that says My Ugly Truth. So if you want to read it for yourself, you can read it for yourself, right? But the primary thing that I was identifying in this is how it literally tells the world or anybody who needs to see this that the child's mother is only entitled to phone visitation. Right there, number two, phone visitation contact. Not physical, but phone visitation only. You know why? Because the judge went over all of the evidence presented. The judge and my lawyer was communicating about what was really going on and how my child's mother was not only being very abusive towards me, but being belligerent towards the courts and anybody else who wasn't in agreement with her. That's why she only had phone visitation rights. Not because I was being mean. If anything, I showed proof that she was being mean. And that's what really happened. This is what's really been going on. And being the fact that I've been trying to be a father in the midst of it is crazy to me because I'm already hurt. I'm already damaged. So it's like, why put more on top of me when I'm already dealing, right? I'm already dealing. But one thing I had to really kind of pay attention to is like, God seemed to put a lot of the odds always up against me in some way, shape, or form. Whether I was a little boy, whether I was a teenager, or an adult, whatever. It always was me versus bigger and larger odds than me, okay? And if y'all know my story, whether you know me from high school, middle school, elementary, whatever, you know I done had some hustles and tussles with a whole bunch of people that been twice my size, and I still seem to come out on top. And it's not to brag. It's because I'm not scared of nobody, you know? I don't like bullies. I don't like people who feel like they got to take advantage of people. I was never for that. So once again, to my son, I have to tell you I'm sorry. Because I really tried hard to get you out of that toxic environment. Okay? I tried real hard to get you out of that toxic environment. And I tried hard to present to not just to the courts, but to the police and the DSS and all these other people who they've been calling on me, who they've been making false accusations on me for as long as they have been. And it's like, what did I do to deserve this? What did I do wrong? Because I was lost in the beginning of this. I was extremely lost, you know. So just to get y'all caught back up real quick. The first episode, I was just trying to communicate with my son about some of the decisions I made, you know. The second episode, I started getting into detail about some of the decisions that I made and the decisions his mother made that made me wonder, like, hey, pay attention, red flag. Why you ain't, you know, something wrong here? And it's like me trying to so-called be the bigger man. I tried to step up and be a father to not only my child, but a child that wasn't mine, right? And then this whole fiasco of things start playing out because baby mama is lying about who's the real baby father to this child who I've been raising since she was 2 months, right? That was episode 2. Then baby mama little sister gets on there. She want, oh, you ain't gonna make my sister look bad and all this other craziness. And I'm like, man, I ain't tell your sister to do what she did. She did that. Not to mention, she's bragging about it. Y'all literally went live right after I put up that video and talk about how she did this and she did that. Oh, yeah, I just told you sorry because I put my hands on you, but that rest of that stuff ain't true. What? And then simultaneously she says, I made sure you were okay after I left you. No, you didn't. I left you. I left baby mama because she got a hand problem. When I see she can't keep her hands to herself because she mad. Like, and not only that, you mad because I find out you cheating on me. How that make sense? How you mad? How you fighting me? Anyway, I just telling the truth. So back to the absolute facts again, because after that part happened, as I said, she turned to, as she say on the live, which I got the copy. Hopefully that didn't interrupt nothing because somebody just called my phone. But as she said in her own live, Club 6B, she turned the apartment into a club for her and her people, whatever. But that right there turned into a whole fiasco that ended up getting her a lynching and a kidnapping charge for getting somebody jump in the apartment. She literally got her own mugshot on the internet right now. I don't have a record. I don't have no police background, no felony, no conviction, and nothing. The most I got is a traffic ticket from my motorcycle life, okay? Motorcycle Chubb got a traffic ticket. That's it. Anything else, I have nothing on my head. I have no felonies, no misdemeanors, no domestic violence, no nothing. Nothing. This is how I was able to stay a registered gun owner. So for y'all to keep trying to put all these falsified accusations out there, keep on. The same way I had to stay on top of my paperwork to keep y'all off my back, I still do it. I still do it. But the main thing I'm getting at right now is just playing catch up, because after presenting all that information and they claim that I didn't have it, or I'm lying, or he just making stuff up, and they blatantly putting on my comment thread that things that were completely not true about my accident happened way before my son was born and all type of other falsified information. It's like, wow, y'all just really lying out here. Even in the comment thread, when people can literally fact check pretty much anything y'all saying nowadays and y'all still trying to make it seem like I'm lying? Okay, whatever. I digress. Once again, I stand on facts. I come with receipts. So after they put up all of this production talking about I'm a pathological liar, I start dropping facts, okay? I start dropping more propaganda debunking material, okay? Because while they out here making all this falsified information, I got police reports, I got court documents, I got real life recordings of those incidents that happened. You know why? Because my first lawyers, my first legal team, and the people who really cared about me was telling me what to do. Because if you don't do it this way, it's always going to be your word against theirs. It's always going to be your word against theirs. So me understanding that, I start doing my homework. I start making sure I'm recording every time I have an interaction with my mama now and my baby mama and my own child to make sure that they can see not only am I a nourishing father, but my child is crying to me about the things his grandmama doing to him and his uncle, his auntie doing to him. But you let him tell it, he could tell you that ain't happened. No, he lying. That ain't true. No, son, I got that too. I got that too. You know why I got that? Because I had to prove not only to these different police officers and child support people or child protective services that this is what's going on, but every time I try to present it to them, Lula Mae, a.k.a. Ann, as some people know her, always seem to wiggle her way out because she knows somebody somewhere. And you know, it's funny, somebody said that on the internet. Today's world is not based on truth. It's more based on who you know and how good you can lie. Boy, I can attest to that in so many ways. So many ways. But I was never the person that liked to lie. I don't like to try to keep up with lies. Like, that stuff is exhausting, okay? You start getting caught up in a bunch of lies, man. I'm not about to sit here and keep trying to remember what I done told somebody that I know wasn't true. No. For what? You know what I'd rather do? I'd rather tell the truth because I'm speaking from memory. Not only that, I make sure I document the truth so I got it. Because if, once again, like the judge tell me, like the police officers tell me, everybody tell me, hey, sir, if you ain't got no hard proof to say this what happened or to say what's going on, it's always going to be your word against theirs. I'm like, man, because this is what I'm talking about when it comes to how I had to protect myself, and not just in that moment, how I got to sit there and communicate with my child about all the different things he crying to me about, you know? So when I see him crying to me about what he's telling me going on inside the house and what's wrong and how he trying to get away from that, he want to be with me, it's like, man, why this happening like this? Why fighting? Why facing off with my biological mother right now? And I don't know why. It took me 3 years to figure out that my biological mother was creating identity fraud and lying to social services, claiming that I'm mentally disabled from my motorcycle accident. Because that's a little bit of truth mixed with a big lie, right? Because that's what they do. They take a little bit of the truth and add a bunch of lie on top to make it seem real. Because there ain't nothing wrong with me mentally. These people right here who I'm talking about, not nil, one of them got a high school diploma. Okay? My biological mother only got a 10th grade education, but she's smart enough to make a whole lot happen, regardless to what people may assume about her. Okay? I got a college degree. I put myself through school. Not just once, even after I became a target in Somerville High School. And for y'all who do know that era of my life, I put myself through Visions Christian Academy so I get my high school diploma properly. Put myself through college so I can go out here and make a living, regardless to what disability could try to do for me. Because I know it ain't gonna never be enough. Not to mention my child, as being my only dependent, is getting some type of payment. And you would think, well, Chubb, if you with your mama, as they say inside the court order, why you ain't just leave him over there? She should have been taking care of him. Yeah, she should have been. She should have been. But when I constantly get calls and I see pictures from my son where he wearing clothes 2 sizes, 3 sizes too big, and he crying about what's going on over there, I got to get him out that house. I got to get him out that house. When I'm sitting there looking at shoes, size 11, on my son who wear 8.5. Why you wearing size 11.5 shoes, son? These not your shoes. These not your shoes. But every time I buy him clothes and shoes, he crying about why they taking his stuff. But once again, I've been trying to cut through the fog as I tell the story of my own life and the truth to my son about why things turned out the way they were. So that way he can never say, hey, man, Daddy, why you ain't tell me what really happened? You had too many people in your ear for you to listen to me. You got way too many people in your ear for you to hear what I got to say. And I watched you. I watched you flip. That's why I showcased that incident report. Okay? That's why I showcased that incident report, because that incident report shows how not only I've been trying, but who you really been living with at that time and what was happening. Right? And how not only you've been crying about what was going on, but how these teachers was trying to communicate with your grandmother and she was blowing them off. Okay? She's literally letting you do whatever you want and just acting like it's okay until you get too far gone and she won't call me. Right? And as much as I try to communicate, I try to make sure, you know what I'm saying, we have some type of decent understanding of what's going on, most people just be like, yo, man, Chubb, but your mama say, your mama say this and your son say that. And I'm like, bro, what they saying is not true now, because you let my son tell it. Some of the things that happen ain't never happened, right? Right? You tell you, oh, no, I ain't never cried to him. I ain't never tell him that. For real? Let's see here, right here. To find out what's going on with his phone. So this is trying to act foolish. 2017. But I'm here to make sure my son is okay, and that I can take him out and to find out what's going on with his phone. Right. I'm gonna just fast forward a little bit because I want you to hear what I communicate with my son. It's on. I don't know nothing about this. What? What the Angelo is? Other side of it? David Cows. It's me moving because they're telling me he on the other side of town because I'm trying to figure out what's up. I'm making this video now. When she doesn't have a phone because my mother's not there and everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. I didn't even know she had my child phone until she called me. And she starts going off about, oh, I seem like I'm better than everybody, and oh, F you, F that, this, that, the third. And I'm like, whoa, you know what? Before you get me out of character, get off my phone. And I hung up. She immediately calls me back from my... This is 2017, me fussing about how my little sister is bullying my child for his phone. And I'm trying to figure out why I can't get in contact with him. Because she's muscling him for his phone. That's only one moment. But as I said, you let him tell it, things like that ain't never happened. The version of him that's talking now, right? But I can keep going. But I'm not going to go to right now. I'm going to get back to that original recording that showcased Lula Mae Rivers, a.k.a. Ann Rivers, on her behavior and how she been acting when all this been going on and how I've been trying to stay close to my child. which is still amazing to me when I really just been trying to be a father to my only son. But you would think she was the actual mama, and I'm the baby daddy the way she been acting. But anyway, I ain't gonna talk too much. I just want to get y'all caught up a little bit for those who might be new to this, those who might be just tuning in. But we're going to go back to that original recording from 2018 where I'm confronting her about what's going on with my son. And once again, while my little sister is putting her hand on his mouth or trying to, you know what I'm saying, disciplining him some weird way that he don't like. But she's trying to use my little brother as a scapegoat because she know he going to lie for her. And you literally hear my son in the background talk about, he wasn't there. He wasn't there. And he goes in the back, ask him, was you there? He says no. He comes back, I told you he wasn't there. But once again, we're going to get back to part 2 from December 16th, 2018, when I confront Lula on what's been going on in her house. Here's part 2, because if you heard part 1, you heard how I not only try to communicate with her about what's going on, you heard about how I was trying to ask her, why won't she give me my son? Because I can tell he's acting out. He need his father in his life. And you know what she does? She start holding the whole conversation, walking in circles around me and literally talking to my little sister like I'm not there. Until I say it like 3 or 4 times, like, yo, you don't hear me? I just told you my child need his father in his life. I heard you. I got to talk to the paperwork. This paperwork? Anyways, here's the recording, part 2.
He get damn disciplined. He just rowdy. That's all the problem he got. And I told him about that. He gotta learn to lie. So don't sit there and say, you better than that.
And when he was out, he tell us about it. Oh, I take his game. And when he call you and say, I take the phone.
About me doing better.
Well, he do get disciplined. He just got a mouth problem. I don't understand where he got that from.
Him and Donetta.
Just don't want to got the same mouth problem.
And then they'll turn around.
You and Donetta.
Later on, they're friends. And him and Donetta be all cool. But like I tell them, you can't disrespect the phone. And the teachers the same way. The same thing.
Like he ain't nothing. No, it ain't that. He was getting this, but he just won't. He's got a problem. Won't listen to her doubt.
You don't want to listen.
And
but I
he just got that mouth problem. Like the same thing you and Donetta was going through when you and Donetta were there. He's taking right after you, whatever you've been doing to tip Donetta off, or what Donnetta's been doing to tip y'all off. That's the same thing he's doing right now. Well, that's what the problem is. He's a drama boy. He can make things look worse than it is. And Donnell take things out of proportion.
Yes, I do know.
All I had to do, all I tell a girl, back out of my face. She ain't gonna come squabbling in my face to tell me nothing. All she had to do is back out and tell me what she got to tell me. Now she gonna run out the door when I stand up to her. How about I disrespect? Shit.
Yes.
I on that part. I still need to be a father to him. That's what I'm saying.
You want to be a father to him? That's up. That's like I tell you. That part, what can that down went between you and your mama, y'all need to work that out and get it right and done and do it. That's. I done told him. I done told him my piece on that one.
That was always my argument with the situation.
Well,
that was never just that.
That's between y'all. Y'all need to get together and talk that out.
I don't leave it alone.
I just want to pause right there real quick. How can you call yourself the man of the household and you letting your so-called wife run things? You know it's not right. You say you done spoke your piece on it, but you still letting her do her thing. You talk, we got to handle that amongst each other. But this is why he's fussing so much. Because once again, he's not running that household. She is. But I'm going to let this play now.
I don't put out the door, leave alone.
That's all right. That's nothing I gotta do.
I know you hate to say you put out the door and leave it alone, but I can't leave it alone because my son, that's my child. I still want to be a father of my child.
Ain't nothing to move.
I'll tell you, come and get him on the weekend. I'll tell you,
Why gotta
get
be
him
just the
anytime.
weekend? Why gotta be just the weekend? Why do you have to have him? Is what I'm saying. Why do you have to have my child? Why is that the thing? Why?
What I said, I remember what I said to that judge, and that's what I stand by.
Why is that the thing? This is what I'm trying to say. Why can I be a full-time father to my child? Once I had found out what I found out, that'd hurt me. That'd hurt me a lot. That'd hurt me to the soul, to my core, to find out that my mother was doing what she was doing for a check.
A check?
Stop.
No,
Hear me.
go ahead on the day Sunday. I done had a good day in church, and I'm not feeling it from a check. A check. No, baby.
When I took for me to go ahead and
when
find
there
out
was
from
no check,
disability,
I took care of you and your child.
You're
Remember
right.
that.
But
Remember
why did it take for me to go to the
check
disability office to find out that you was getting my son check put to your account without me knowing? Why?
to my account?
Yes.
No, baby.
Yes.
Not to my account. Chubb, you already know it. Once the check started rolling, and he didn't get a check till way after you got a check. So it ain't about a check, because before a check came, I checked my income was taking care of you and your child, your girlfriend, whoever else. So don't make it like it's no money situation. So no, that's not it. I pawned my jewelry to make sure you had medication. Okay? So don't sit there and think it's money.
So it's not money. So for 2.5
boy,
years,
please,
you
no.
was taking my 500 and his 6?
I wasn't taking your money. I made you pay the light bill because you stayed home all day.
I had a choice.
No, you didn't have a choice. You didn't have a choice. When I got my behind out and took you to the doctor, you're not even thinking about what she have done for me.
Yeah.
That's why I need to let you feel to know that I don't do things for no money. When I got my ass out of my bed, put you in a wheelchair, put you on the walker, put you in the bathroom, you think I did it for a check? No, I did it because I was your mother. That's why I did it.
So why did you not act like it when it was time for me to be a father?
Son, when father, and nobody stopped you from being a father. It's just not you was in this situation. I was helping you when you didn't have a situation. So remember that.
You can come get that boy all day, any day you want in here.
So why can't he be with me?
This issue was never. Well, I don't know why, because she did all that, but you can come get this boy, make it what you want.
You don't think that's why I gotta fight with you?
You ain't gotta worry about him sleeping with you. He been sleeping here. He got a place to sleep. You gotta worry about him sleeping. Why can't you come here any day and get that boy?
You're right, but why can't he be with me full time? That's my point.
That's your mama.
Why my son can't be with me full
That's your
time?
mama problem there. I done told her. I told her straight up. I told D'Angelo straight up. He can go stay with her.
My phone is on.
So if that's how you feel, why is she doing?
All different charges.
So what's the core behind that? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's the core behind that?
I tell D'Angelo to his face, he can go stay with you if you don't like what if you don't like my rules in this house, you can go stay with you. Period. All of them. I tell anyone of them that don't like what I say in this house or do it up, go to these damn old houses.
I'm not going to my daddy's house. What am I going to my daddy's house for? I say, call your daddy. No, I'm not calling him. I'm not going to his house. What am I going to his house for? I say, call your daddy. No. But he call you when he wants you to know. But when I tell him to call you, he don't call you and tell you what he does. And I don't feel like if I discipline him, I don't have to. I don't have to.
Anytime D'Angelo
Cannot have his way, that's what he does.
Or when you get bad about him, he'll call. You want to go somewhere, he'll get bad and he'll want to call you then. Or he tell you what we do bad in him. No, we're not doing that. Boy, that get on like a king.
He can be in here just as good when he wants to, and when he don't want to, and when he wants something, just like whatever you bought him the tablet. I say, why your daddy bought you a tablet now? Oh, because he just wants to. I say, well, why didn't you take for Christmas?
Listen, I told D'Angelo right to his face, if you want to go stay with your daddy, you can go stay with your daddy.
No.
Mama, let him go. You should let him go, Mama.
He said no.
He said no.
But I'll talk. I'll make that phone call.
I said, go
I'll make
ahead.
that phone call.
Go ahead.
I'll make that
So
phone call.
don't even
And I'm like I said.
Call you every day.
Don't let him answer the phone for him. Let Chubb deal with him.
Don't sit here and say what I'm not doing. You understand me? Because I know I've been there when I shouldn't have been there. When you did me the way you did me, I still stayed there. I stayed there because I was your mother. I wasn't your friend. I was your mother. When the doctor said to call the family, I knew better. Check. Boy, ain't no check. It's not no check, Chubby. Before a check came along, I was taking care of you and your child. And I'm helping anybody. So don't sit there and say it's a check. It's not a check. It's not a check. So remember, before a check came along for you, I still took care of you, made sure you got your medicine. And it's not a check. Remember that. It's not a check.
So why didn't I see that money?
You seen it because I even gave you $1,200 of that money. I made you sign a letter saying that you was going to give it back.
Chubb, we know. We know, Chubb. My money. My money. We know. We all know the story.
Y'all come here talking about money. We talking about D'Angelo.
Exactly. And that's
You
why
don't
I'm
want to
this is
bring
the
the
whole
money
thing.
check. You don't want to bring a check up
Because that was the whole thing that stopped me from getting him.
You can have him. Mama, please give him out.
And I told him.
Let the bad boy go.
Go. Still talking.
I just said that, you know.
Let it go. Let it go. Even when he come back and tell me, I don't bring it up. I leave it there because I know children shouldn't know what they know, but they know when we talk it in the front of them.
He's going to tell you the same thing and tell your business, so why not tell him?
I don't care. That's a child. And I always tell them, you got to stay in a child's place, regardless of whatever.
Y'all want to talk to y'all?
Now, I'm done with it. And I already said I'm going to do what I got to do, and I'll go from there.
When you said that,
And I'll go from there. I'm done with it. I'm done with that conversation. I don't even want to hear because you done saying you still have not saying you trying to say you have not forgiven me, but you came here and say that day you forgive me. Well, Don tell you something. When God come,
Listen, I'm going to tell y'all both what Dot told me. Okay, stop. Dot told me I needed to forgive you. Because you will not come to me and say what you've done wrong. Because you feel you a mother and I should come to you.
no, you don't have to. You give it
This
to
is
God.
what she
You don't
did.
have to
And I
give
did
it to
that.
me. Give
And I
it to
did
God,
that.
and I left it there.
I did that.
I sleep now.
I couldn't give it to God when you were still doing what you were doing.
What I was doing.
The little petty things that you still would do. When's the last time you ever brought my son to me?
You didn't ask me to. Have you asked me? He said you don't want me to know what you live at.
I ain't never say such a thing.
He said my daddy don't want you to know where he live at.
But you don't know you don't know just the rule. But you know
Have you called me and said, can you please drop D'Angelo off to me? No. If Big Boy say you ask Big Boy, you didn't ask me. So you cannot say you've never asked me. If you ask me, I will do it.
Last time I asked you, it was an issue.
It wasn't an issue.
No, it was.
No, it wasn't an issue.
The last 2 times I asked you was 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
And it was an issue, so I stopped asking.
No, it wasn't no issue, and maybe I couldn't do it that day. Okay, that's fine. Like I said, I don't want to hear none of it. I done had a good day today, and I'm not going to let nobody take it. You understand me? So that goes for everybody, left and right. See ya. I'm not dealing with this. All right, I'm good. But I forgive you. You understand? I forgive you. No matter what you say or do to me, I still forgive you.
For what?
I said I forgive you. God don't say what you have to say what it's for. Just remember, if I said it, that means I mean it from your head to your toe. So just let it go.
I pray that God forgives you as well. For all of the things that you have done to me.
Well,
and
I
my
sure
son.
hope he do.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is deeper than just, oh, you here to try to do this and do that.
No, it ain't.
It is. It is because in the beginning, all I really want to do is be a father to my son. You stopped that.
It ain't.
Yeah, it is. Because you stopped that. You stopped that wholeheartedly. You went out your way to stop that. You did little things and big things to stop that.
No,
You went out your way to find people to tell stories to stop that.
No, you don't have to do that. You don't even. I never have to do that.
Yes, you did,
No.
because it wouldn't have got back to me if you didn't.
No.
Those moments when you went to people's jobs, girl, let me
No.
tell you what happened.
I didn't
Did you
go
know
to
this
nobody's
happened?
job.
Yeah, you did. You even went to the family. Why? The family ain't had nothing to do with this. This was between me and you. That was the whole argument. When you told Leon that I was doing some other things and he stopped me in that room, you think that was cool? But Leon he was doing what he felt was right to stop me. That's why he did what he did. And I can't blame him for that. I can't. Because he's a man who's been through his own thing. And when he said what he said to me, Chubby, I've been through this before. All of this replays in my mind. He said, Chubby, I've been through this before. You will let that boy see his mama. And I said, I don't know what my mama told you.
I never stopped
listen,
you from seeing yours.
Listen.
Point blank.
Just listen.
Go ahead.
And I said, I don't know what my mama told you, but let me get to my son because he is in the car. And I come outside and I start screaming because I see you smuggling my child from one place to another. And I'm trying to figure out, I told you no. And now you want to do what you want because you told me. I told that girl she would do what she want to do. You're not going to tell me I can do what I want to do with him. Sure. That's what happened.
No, she wanted to see D'Angelo.
You're right. And I said he could come here. And you said you could see him. Because I said that's what you told me. It didn't even want the judges about what you said.
She can see him. So you didn't want
Leon,
to see him?
I apologize for even getting angry.
Okay, D'Angelo. So you didn't want Ingram to see D'Angelo at that time?
This is what we rewinded.
No,
this is not.
What was rewinded? You know what
Because
happened?
I said you. I told you no.
No, that girl told you.
I told you.
Candy told you.
I told you.
No, I heard you.
No.
I heard you and Candy.
I told you no. And you said I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do. And that's what
I'm going to do what's right.
No, it wasn't even about what's right. You wanted to do what you wanted to do.
No, it was right. Ingram asked to see D'Angelo.
And I said
need her in the parking lot. That was it. That's all it was.
You're right. It don't matter now. It don't. It don't matter now. You're right. It don't matter now. But now we at a place where I try to be a father to my child.
All that ain't gotta come up. All one needs to do is do the right thing now.
All of it's done. It's done. Well,
So,
you say what you want to say. I got it from here. I got what you're saying. I'm done.
So can I be a father to my
You
child?
can be a father. You've been being a father to him. So I will go ahead and make some phone calls, and then I'll go from there. Point blank. I'll go from there. That's done. I'm finished. I'm done on that. That's fine, but I have clean mine, and I know mine is clean. And if you call yourself so not having to forgive me, that's on you. You have to work that out. You have to work that out. Well, I worked it out. I worked it out because I know I have been your back and your bone when you was in a wheelchair and a walker. So you remember that.
I do remember that.
Okay.
But I also remember the part where you took advantage of that.
I didn't take advantage of nothing.
Yes, she did.
Nothing.
Yes, she did.
I wish I could believe that. You showed me different.
Yeah. And that's the end of that recording. I meant what I said. I wish I could believe that. But when I find out that right after I got my disability income, that when I went to go to the disability office in Columbia and they give me the absolute facts, they show me the paperwork. They can't give me the official paperwork showing that she was denied because it got her social security number on it. But all the stuff with my social security number on it, I was able to get. And it literally shows Lula Mae Rivers Casey was trying to make herself my payee representative without my knowledge since 2010. And then again in 2011. You say, man, Chubb, how, boy, that people go to jail for stuff like that. I said the same thing. And maybe that's why she started acting the way she did. Because I did not know this was going on. I had no idea. For 3 years, I was focused on trying to be a daddy. And she made sure she was a part of that, so she could also have access to my other parts of my life. Or she just said she tried to make me sign something so she could have control. No. And I still got memory. February 2013. Lying. Span Elementary. I got that police report too. She tell these people, he ain't got no custody of the child. I said, how? How? I had to give them this. I had to hand this to them. Because she told them, word of mouth, if he come here, he ain't got no custody of the child. Call me and call the police. You know how I know that? Because that's what they said to me when I went to that front office. Because I couldn't figure out why my mother was keeping me away from my son for 3 months. This is after 3 months after November 24th, 2012. And when the police saw my paperwork, they took me in the back, brought me in the guidance counselor office and was like, what's going on here? Big black dude. I wish I could remember his name. He said, man, so what's happening here? This guidance counselor was like, well, the grandmother came up here and said that if the father ever come to call the police and to call her because he ain't got no custody. And I'm like, why would she say that? I literally just did a 3-year custody battle to be a father to my child. That's my only child. Why is she doing all this? And they're like, well, did he show paperwork? He was like, yeah. Well, give him his son. I say, thank you, policeman. Oh, my God. But I just broke down in tears because I couldn't understand why. Why am I fighting my mother for my child? What's going on here? And then I see my little mini-me, 5-year-old mini-me, coming from the back of Span Elementary. Daddy, what's up, mini-me? Let's go, man. Police officers. Now it's like 4 police cars out front because we in Somerville. They don't play about their kids in Somerville. Now, you know these police officers, and it's a black man that here doing all this confusion. What? Yes. But because I had this, they gave me my son. And when they take me outside, who pull up? But Lula Mae Rivers, a.k.a. Ann. He ain't got no custody of the child. The police officer say, what? Man, we just saw his paperwork. And then they told me, all right, sir, we get it. Go ahead, take your son and go. And I'm like, thank you, sir. Please, let's go. So I'm trying to leave with my child and get in the car. And she say, well, the child's supposed to be with me at all times. Police officer was like, what? That don't even sound right. Hold up. Yeah, go ahead and get out of here, sir. And she had to think, and I just like looked back and I could see her trying to figure out what she could do to get access to me. And then she screams out, well, I don't know where he live. I was like, you don't need to know where I live. You see how you acting? You see how you wilding? Why would I want you to know where I live? You gonna bring that to my front door. I don't want that at my door. Little rookie cop come walk up to the police, to the passenger door after I done put Mini in the car seat. And we about to pull off. And sorry, sir, we gotta give her your information. What? Yeah, her name's on the paperwork. So we gotta give her your address because she needs to know where the child is. And I'm like, man, bro, she gonna come to my house with that same drama. Sorry, sir. I know, we gotta give it to her. It's like they know she doing all this confusion, but they gotta still abide by the law. All right. So I give her my address at that time where I was living in Pigeon Bay. If you know, you know. So I'm living in Pigeon Bay, and at that time, God grant me the ability to chill with my father. But I knew she was going to go to my house. I didn't go there. I went to the Social Security office. And that's how I started to find out the truth. Because then I took my child and all the information I had so I can make sure I get my child out of that household and take him with me, because that's what I went to court for. So I could be a father to my son, to my only child at this time. Okay? So it's like when they create all this nonsense, it's like nobody know the absolute truth. I know the truth. That's why I could tell it. Because I refuse to let these people keep tarnishing my name for their own expense so they can try to soften the dirt on theirs. Man, I ain't tell y'all to be out here wilding and scamming and doing all this fool stuff. I learned very early, bro, I don't like going to jail. So I try to make sure I keep my nose clean. Once again, some people do what they feel. And they don't care about no consequence to nobody else but themselves. If they feel like they benefit and you fall on your face, oh well. As long as it don't hurt them. Not everybody might move like you, Chubb. Because I feel some type of way if my people fall down and I see it. Hey, bro, you okay? Let me pick you up. Hey, listen, I can help you in some way. You help me. Cool, let's do that. But I'm not trying to step on somebody to make sure I get to the next level. I'm not trying to destroy somebody to make sure I can come out on top. Because that's what Lula Mae did. That's what your granny did, son. She destroyed my life with you, my relationship with you, on purpose. Yeah. Also, that way I can stop fighting for you. And that's the part that's like, wow. Because I still remember those nights. You come to my house or even spend time with me wherever I was at. And you cry about, man, Daddy, why Granny say this? And why is she saying that? It's like, man, your granny just mad that I'm not cool with what she doing to me and what she doing to us. And it's crazy that she moving like this because I never thought she would. I heard rumors around the family about how she moved out here. It's like, that's kind of why your daddy had to do things he had to do before this motorcycle accident. Because I learned very early not to ever put one of my vehicles in her name. Because I kept hearing these stories about how she playing with people's money or playing with their titles or something in some way, shape, or form. And I refused to let that be me. But the one time she get access to me on a level to where she had a touch on my finance, she took it extremely too far and would not give me the opportunity to figure out what was going on before she went for my jugular. No conversation. No, let me tell you what happened. Maybe we could talk about this. It was straight smear campaign and a whole bunch of lies. And I'm in the blind, all while she hiding my keys, hiding my tags, and trying to take my son from me and hide him too. Which is why it took me a whole decade to get my child back a second time. And I got that court order too. So, I'm going to go ahead and end this live here. And next time I come back, I'm going to present that second court order. And some more information from that other recording with a conversation I had with my child's mother back on January 4th, 2022, confirming so much information that I was looking for and information I had no knowledge of. Because I was trying for a long time to figure out how she was doing what she was doing. But once again, in a recording before this, I say thank you, baby mama, for giving me the facts. Because she gave me all the screenshots and everything. And this is why I kept saying, these people like to lie when it's convenient. They'll tell the truth when it's convenient too. But they like to lie when it's convenient as well. Pay attention. Stay vigilant. But more than anything, man, it's the truth for my son and anybody else who going through a situation similar to mine, so that way you don't have to deal with this. Pay attention to your surroundings. And when you start feeling like people doing wrong by you, record. Because they can sit in your face just like you sitting in their face. And you know they lying. They know they lying. But the world around them don't know they lying. And I'm going to tell you once again, like the police told me, if you ain't got no hard evidence, it's always your word against theirs. And that's my episode today of The Truth for My Son. Till next time.